So this is like the fifth or sixth take on this video, as I know you guys have experience with that. I wanted to tell you before you get started on your bell ringer some stories that other teachers and parents have shared with me about challenging reads and how they've overcome what they do, what their strategies are to overcome when it gets hard with their text. So here we go. The first one I want to share with you is from Mrs. Harris, kindergarten teacher. She says, reading in college, whether it be literature or textbooks, always required me to take notes. I remember even developing a graphic organizer for note-taking. I have no idea where that is now, but it helped. And it varied with the type of text that she was reading, is what she says. Another story from Mrs. Kelderman. She says, I've used online resources such as SparkNotes. Sometimes people have good notes about books online, so that helps. Highlighting and taking notes as I read has really helped, and using a dictionary for words that I don't know. Mrs. Hoppy says, I've been challenged by many of my college textbooks. I always have a pencil and highlighter handy when reading difficult texts, so I can make notes in the margins to summarize or mark my confusion, so when I'm not quite sure. All of those are note-taking. Notice the similarities. So when it gets hard, a lot of people tend to take notes. Here's a really good one that's applicable to your future career. Connor's mom, Jennifer Wendell, says, what I read. I have an example of reading that you could use, Mrs. Swanson, unless you find one that's more interesting. I thought you guys would like this, so I'll keep going. I work for Gleason Constructors and Engineers, LLC, and I read legal documents, contracts. There is more to this than just reading or writing or editing the contract, but it's also important to understand the latest in construction laws, reading up on government issues, understanding tariffs and such, or for cost control. Because we work in the United States, it's important to understand each state's law regarding construction. It's important to understand these documents and be able to read and understand details for both us and the owner of the company that's hiring us. Thousands of dollars are at risk. I just received a $100 million contract, so as you can see, errors in this contract could be costly for us or the owner. How I manage. I visit websites and read up on construction law. I sign up to get emails so important changes come directly to me, and then I will go and read and study up on the changes. I make notes and save in Word documents. Gleason Standard Language and use Gleason Standard Language to make sure that we are covered. And I also include mistakes or things that we might have missed in the past to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Thanks for all you do for the kiddos. Jennifer Wendell did a great job sharing with us how useful it is to understand when things get hard for us in our reading, we can use strategies to help us. Taking notes, going on the internet, finding other resources, building background knowledge, holding on to that information, building on what we've learned in the past to what we're learning in the future. So our unit has been full of all kinds of different types of things that we've been learning about, but the core of it is when we get to text that seems hard or maybe not interesting because it's just not interesting. Well, oftentimes that's the challenge you have to overcome. How am I going to get past that? Because this is going to be part of my job. Whether it is or not, it's still something you're being asked to read. And you're going to have to understand it, whether you want to or not. So what are the strategies that you can do? Here are some great examples of teachers and parents that actually use it and make meaning for you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I miss you. Kinda. I'm having my own fun on my trip here. So hopefully you are having a good day, and I'll see you when we get back. Bye, guys.